First, I have a question for you to think about. Is good and effective communication important? Some people may think, isn't it just talking? It's just a mutual dialogue. Who can do that? In fact, communication is an art that involves principles and methods. Effective communication can not only help you build strong international relationships and resolve conflicts to avoid negative consequences, but it can also play a crucial role in your career development, team building, and international cooperation. It is a link between people. So, do you think it is important? A recent shocking incident that caused a sensation in the United States. A Silicon Valley employee killed his wife by punching her to death. The couple, both Silicon Valley employees, were an enviable couple. After studying at Tsinghua University in China, they came to the United States to develop their careers. They had good educational backgrounds, well-paying jobs, and buying a house worth more than $2 million. For many people, they are considered winners in life. But even so, the husband violently beat his wife to death. He changed the fate of the two families, which is true tragic and regretful. Because there has been no official announcement so far, I don't know what the real reason is. But one thing I can confirm is that if they can use effective, non-violent communication methods to solve the problem, the tragedy will not happen. According to some details on the internet, some people will doubt that if a person is too extreme, will your non-violent communication still be effective? So let's take a look at the following examples, which tells about something personally experienced by Marshall Rosenberg, the author of Nonviolent Communication and American psychologist. He gave a speech in a mosque in refugee camp in Bethlehem. Suddenly, shouts of murder came from the crowd. Let's take a look at how Marshall used nonviolent communication to have a conversation with him.
You're angry because you hope my government to change the way it allocates resources, is that right?
Damn right, I'm angry. Do you think we need tear gas? We need plumbing, we need a house, we need our own country.
So, you're angry. You want support to improve your living conditions and gain political independence, is that correct?
Do you know what it's like for me? My family, my children, and everyone to live here for 27 years. Can you imagine what this means to us? Even a little bit.
It sounds like you're feeling very desperate. You want to know if I or anyone else can truly understand what it's like to live like this, right?
Do you want to understand? Tell me. Do you have children? Do they go to school? Do they have a playground to play on? My son is sick, he plays in the ditch. There are no textbooks in his classroom. Have you ever seen a school without textbooks?
I hear raising children here is very painful for you. You want me to know that what you're asking for is what every parent wants for their children: a good education, opportunities to play, a healthy environment.
After more than 20 minutes of conversation, venting and listening, without judging, made other people feel fully understood. After the speech, the man invited Marshall to his home for dinner. Now, with this story, do you have a new and deeper understanding of the importance of communication skills? So, what is an effective way of communication and how should we do? Welcome to continue with the following content. 1. Observation. Observe things in an objective and non-judgmental way and avoid using evaluative language. In fact, the step is difficult for many people to do. Because when we face a situation, we will instinctively and habitually judge a thing or person based on our own values and needs. However, the result of this is that it is easy to trigger the other people's defense and resistance, even if they temporarily obey us. The resentment in their hearts will burst out one day, even if you think it is for their own good. O.J. Harvey, a professor of psychology at the University of Colorado, conducted a statistic show that the more words involving moral judgments used, the more frequent violent incidents are, because both parties attacking each other subjectively believe that they are wrong or bad guys. So, how do you observe things in a non judgmental way? 1. First of all, don't compare things to yourself. People's comparison mentality will lead to unfair evaluations and perceptions of individuals or situations. Dan Greenberg said, if you want to live a miserable life, compare yourself to others. Comparison can breed people's jealousy, and in severe cases can lead to anxiety and stress. These emotions will affect your behavior, making it challenging to observe things objectively. 2. Don't use critical words, such as lazy, cruel, selfish, etc. Pay attention to the use of words such as every time, always, and forever. In the past, I would blame my child for being too slow in writing homework. Later, it escalated into a verbal attack of, why are you always so lazy? But since I changed it to, sweetheart, I noticed that it took you more than half an hour to write this line today. My child no longer reacts defensively. Instead of getting angry, he told me, oh, sorry, I got distracted, and continued to complete his homework. 2. Feelings. Express your feelings about the observed situation, emphasizing responsibility for personal emotions. Feelings are distinct from thoughts. For example, what do you feel when you are affected by your neighbor's noise? Do you think they are rude? Do you think they shouldn't be so loud? Or I feel uncomfortable? In life, we focus too much on expressing our thoughts and neglect to convey our feelings. Feelings are personal. They can be happy, confident, fascinated, excited, or they can be worried, ashamed, confused, trembling, etc. Sometimes, expressing your vulnerability appropriately can also help resolve conflicts. Now, let's consider a question together. What do you really do when you hear someone accusing you? Four options. 1. Blame ourselves. 2. Counterattack. 3. Focus on our own feelings. 4. Pay attention to the needs of the other people. Each of us needs to be responsible for our own words, deeds, and emotions. When facing criticism, avoid using expressions such as have to deflect the responsibility. For example, see, I had to smoke because I was under too much pressure recently. One guy failed to take good care of his children and ended up breaking the valuable vase, but put the blame on the ignorant children. By paying attention to our needs and feelings, and then connecting with the needs and feelings of others, we can convey our kindness and we are more likely to receive kind responses from others. Therefore, when we encounter criticism from others, it's natural to feel unhappy inside. In such situations, you can inquire why they make such assessments, aiming to understand the other person's needs and concerns. 3. Needs. Identifying and expressing individual needs rather than asking others to meet specific expectations. When our needs are not met, we usually think it is someone else's fault. In fact, we often forget to express our own feelings and needs. Think about whether you have ever had such a misunderstanding. This situation often happens to trans lovers. Girls like to be implicit and always expect their boyfriends to know and understand them without direct communication. However, most boys are very careless and not adept at deciphering subtleties. So boys will feel very frustrated. Boldly tell others your needs directly. Although it may not be met every time. If you don't say it, who will know? So, do we need to do our best to please others and take care of other people's feelings? On the road to emotional freedom, we will probably go through these three stages. 1. Emotional slave. We think we are responsible for the feelings of others. At this stage, we feel the need to take responsibility for others' feelings and put ourselves in pain because of this imposed responsibility. This reminds me of a friend who is very friendly but slightly introverted. Her parents were very strict with her. When she reached the age of marriage, her parents began to worry about her marriage, but she never met the partner she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. Due to pressure from her parents, she finally had to marry someone she didn't like at all. After marriage, she constantly complained and expressed countless times that she really regretted sacrificing her own happiness to please her parents. 2. Hate for appearance. Rejecting consideration for other people's feelings. At this stage, we understand that we don't need to be responsible for other people's feelings. But we have not learned how to interact with others in a way that's not enslaved by emotions. For example, your friend asks you to go shopping together, but you don't want to go because you are not feel well. When you reach this stage, you will reject him. When your friend expresses disappointment, and this time you may reply very bluntly, "What does this have to do with me?" Next comes the third stage. 3. The master of emotions. We are responsible for our own feelings, giving compassion and love from our hearts. At this stage, we take responsibility for our own feelings, and we understand that we do not need to be responsible for the needs of others. Additionally, we comprehend the effectiveness of connecting our emotions with others through genuine compassion and love. 4. Request. Express your request in a positive, clear, and non-coercive way. 1. We need to clearly tell others what you need. When you just tell others not to do something, they are actually still in a state of confusion. It's better to tell them what to do directly, which will give people more purpose and direction. Also, don't do anything that will easily create resistance. 2. The more specific the request, the better. People are always used to putting forward some vague and ambiguous expectations. For example, if you hope to be loved by others, what exactly do you want others to do with his love? Someone may not even be aware of their specific desires. So, how can others satisfy you? It's too difficult for them, right? 3. Make a conscious demand. In a simple example, a husband bought a watermelon, and when his wife cut it open, she found that it was rotten. The wife complained, "How could you buy a bad watermelon?" Please tell me, what is the purpose of the wife's complaint at this time? And what does she want her husband to respond or do something? Perhaps she wants her husband to exchange a fresh one. Or maybe she just accuses him and hopes to get an apology from him. So sometimes you think you have expressed it clearly, but others still don't understand what you need. 4. Distinguish between requests and demands. When your expression is perceived as demand, it will have a sense of oppression, which can easily lead to potential rebellion psychology. Indeed, no one wants to be first to do something. Therefore, in order for people to ensure that what we propose is a request rather than a demand, we need to clearly show them they just need fulfilling our request voluntarily. For example, when you want your child to do the housework, instead of saying, "Hurry up and sweep the floor quickly, this is your duty," you can phrase it as, "Are you willing to sweep the floor now?" This expression conveys respect to you, making your child more willing to complete the task. Would you want to see that it's not that complicated? You can use your adult authority to oppress him, or yelled at him directly. Then he will do the chores obediently. Well, indeed, this may make him listen to you temporarily, but he must be extremely reluctant in his heart. In the long run, it will be detrimental to the child's character and mental health. Avoid reacting impulsively to situations. As an adult, you must know how to control your emotions and refrain from using bad words to hurt people's hearts. There is a joke that if yelling worked, donkeys would have ruled the world long ago. 5. Empathy. Transpositional consideration. In addition to listening, if you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and put yourself in the same life background, educational background, and specific role in the argument, then first of all, I think you won't be as angry as before, as you understand the other person's intentions and motives more clearly. For example, if you accidentally break your child's toy tree, he becomes very angry and starts crying. You may think, no, it's just a cheap gadget. But please think about it with empathy. In a child's world, he regards this toy as a treasure, comparable in importance to a real car for an adult. Then it will be easy for you to understand your child's reaction. The skill of communication doesn't only rely on words, but also includes nonverbal elements. By maintaining positive body language and facial expressions, you can convey a positive attitude and enhance the effectiveness of your communication. Of course, choosing an appropriate time is also crucial. Most of the content in the video comes from Marshall Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication, which is a book worth reading and contemplating. We don't have to wait for love. We just have to dissolve the inner obstacle to love. This is Elara.L Talk Time. Welcome to share your effective communication methods. If you enjoy my video, remember to subscribe and click the little bell. See you next time.
Bye.